Hey everyone. This is going to be a more controversial video, or let's just say controversial video, because we haven't really posted anything that is that way, at least not for a while. And it's in regards to that game by Insomniac called Wolverine, or The Wolverine. I wish they had done a proper X-Men game instead of a Wolverine solo experience. The X-Men has, for the vast majority of their publication, been seen as more of a team than um it's been seen as more of a team than it has been viewed than it has been my apologies. The X-Men has been okay. The X-Men is remembered more as a team than they are individually. That's what I meant to say. I apologize for that. This isn't like the Justice League. This isn't like the Avengers, where they start off as solo heroes and then form a team later on, which is only for the purposes of when a threat is too big and they can't do it alone, that's when they need a team. The X-Men was always more of a family, a community. They weren't put together to fight. They can, will, and do fight, but that is not their primary objective. It's to serve as I said, community and family unit. They're there for each other. They help each other understand, deal with their struggles as a result of being mutants. Um, and obviously they learn how to control their powers from Charles Xavier and the other more experienced mutants. And that's about it. And since those are the main purposes and main purposes of the X-Men's existence, choosing to make your first game with that property be a Wolverine solo experience, to me, is underwhelming. And yes, I say this as somebody who's not the biggest Wolverine fan. I enjoyed his appearance in the movies, having not previously liked Wolverine at all. But his powers aren't interesting to me. And when I think of how much fun I could have playing as a character like Magneto that can do way more than him, or playing as Jean Grey, or playing as Storm, who has all these powers related to weather, it makes Wolverine feel kind of lame in terms of video game. And I know a lot of people are not going to agree with that because he has a massive fan base. He is the most popular member of the X-Men. And I'm also aware of the fact that he didn't originate as a member of the X-Men. He started off as a one-time villain of the Hulk. But he is nowadays mostly known as a member of the X-Men. And I feel like this could have been an opportunity for Insomniac to, even though they didn't develop that Avengers game, they could have looked at that and said, you know what? We're going to take that formula and improve upon it in the form of an X-Men game. Which would have been a no-brainer to me for at least for a few reasons. Number one, the X-Men has, for most of their publication and existence, which I say because it hasn't only just been comics, it's also been cartoons and movies, been far more popular than the Avengers. That's probably changed somewhat, mostly thanks to the MCU, but prior to the MCU, the X-Men were the biggest group that Marvel had. And given the fact that, due to how that Avengers game failed so spectacularly, this would have been the perfect opportunity for Insomniac to take notes and come out saying, we're going to make an X-Men game, having learned why that Avengers game didn't do well, and recognizing that the X-Men are one of the most popular franchises in fiction. Bigger than the Avengers. Maybe not, I don't know if they're bigger than the Justice League, but I'm sure they're pretty close. I'm sure they're at least pretty close. And close to the popularity of Spider-Man. I'm sure that this Wolverine game will sell well. But I don't know how much replay value there will be in a game that features Wolverine, as opposed to a game where you played as a team of 5 X-Men. Now, you might be saying, well, why only a team of 5? Well, because developers will only have so much time to make a game. You can't just throw 10, 20, however so many mutants into an X-Men game and make them playable and balance all their play styles out, have enough time to make an interesting and good story, and then also have the time to build big enough areas through which the characters can explore. You just wouldn't have the time to do all that. Now, at a later date, they could, of course, work on DLC and release that. But I'm fairly certain that just going with the team that is the main focus in the 90s X-Men series would have been more than enough. Had they just done a game starring Cyclops, Wolverine, Storm, Gambit, Jean Grey, Rogue, Jubilee, that would have gotten people screaming loud, screaming with excitement. And I personally believe that an X-Men game might even make more money than a Wolverine game because there are more characters to choose from. Because even though Wolverine is the most popular X-Men character, you might even draw more potential players into it because it's a more ambitious project than a solo game, which Insomniac has already proven they can do. And honestly, Insomniac's never actually done a team up game before. I do understand that it could just be as simple as, well, they didn't want to do that, but Wolverine's not Batman. He's always been part of a team. He's always been seen as a member of the X-Men. This is the reverse of the Justice League. This is not like the Justice League where all the mutants got their own books before the X-Men team up book came out. No, the X-Men have always existed as a community of young mutants being taught how to control their powers and deal with their societal struggles than they have been solo heroes. And they're not really heroes in the conventional sense either. They will step in and protect the world, but unlike the Avengers, they can't really be out in the public due to humanity's views of them. But anyway, with that being said, this is all I have to say now. I may make a follow-up video to this. I'll definitely make a short tomorrow, possibly in relation to the X-Men. But I just wanted to put this video out there because I get the feeling that nobody else is saying the things that I am, and a little bit of controversy does stir the pot up a bit and can lead to some debates. Anyway, with that being said, this is Black Angel Katakuri from Debate Club Rejects. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And until the next one, I hope you all have a great day. And I'm out.